The 2009 Bank of Salon Act give power to the bank governor for the act as the bank governor of the country, advisor and be fiscal agent. We go support government economy policy and steady the financial system na Salon. This BNTM report don't they go around na that government some put the bank governor for go leave. Well, inside one exclusive interview with Radio Democracy, the bank governor, Professor Kelfala Kalon, say nobody no force and for take leave and say for solve the economic challenge inside the last 2.5 years, the bank spent over $450 million for help make essential commodity them like rice, fuel, and other things them in the country. Well, the bank governor, Professor Kelfala Kalon, talk more inside this exclusive interview to Michael Sambola. Also, I start for talk if President Bio be put him on immediate leave.
Nobody not put me in an immediate leave. I mean request leave. You know, in my last profession, I did get 4 months leave a year. One in December, and then in the summer I did get 3 months leave. Well, I've been working. I'm due about 42 working days of leave, but I barely can take them.
But why you decide for take this one? Pressure?
No, not pressure. My term they end in October, and I've been wanting to take me leave before my term end. So I decided that I have a significant amount of leave. I want to go rest, clear my head, and then come back.
The kind way how the salon economy they looking at you in that kind of technical person. You think say now the best time this for take leave?
The bank goes on regardless of whether I'm on leave or not. The bank still functions. The law is very clear that when the governor is away, the deputy governor monetary stability is in charge of the bank.
Why make you think say people all over get that kind notion that nobody not come out, even government not come out for explain about you disappearance from the public eye?
I not disappear, I'm here. I they go around, nobody has ever said I don't disappear. I'm taking my time, it's open-ended. When the time reach where I feel say I'm up to it, then I'll get back. It's just a matter of me trying to draw down what is my entitlement.
Don't move away from you live now. Looking at the current state of the country economy, how you could describe them?
Well, like every country in the world, the economy of this country is very challenging. And every country in the world that face economic challenges, we will not one day see since the Great Depression. And so all man they grapple for deal with these challenges, not to Salon no more. Yes, we get with young problems na Salon, but other countries also get their young problem. I'm not going to talk, say, the Salon economy very rosy. But what I go talk is that given the resources where we not get for deal with the problems where we encounter, I think say we don't do very well.
What about people who go think say we own situation a kind of worse compared to neighboring country like Guinea?
Well, we can always say in economics a Latin phrase, ceteris paribus, all other things being equal. You not compare mango and orange. It would be a false comparison. The situation in and the situation in Guinea, very different. First and foremost, almost every Sierra Leonean, and rightly so, go say Salon gentry will get all these minerals. And therefore, we're not for them in this situation. In the best of all worlds, that would be correct. But Salon get a legacy problem. That legacy problem now the mining deals we will be done accept in this country.
Like who's one there so?
I know give you the specific, but most mining deals, we with the export minerals, and then they give you royalty up to 3%. So for example, if you look at our mineral exports in 2022, we exported, according to the data, close to $900 million worth of minerals. Guess how much we get? Close to 27 million. So yeah, Guinea, their own situation different. The commanding highest of our economy, which is mining, we've been done gear away.
But Prof, now as the person we technically they advise government on economical issue as the bank governor, the professional head for advise government about the economy. From 2018 to now, which you change?
As governor of the bank na fiscal advisor to government. With the advise government, fiscal policy deals with taxes and government spending. With the give advice to government as to how they go about. But the responsibility for fiscal policy, how much government they spend, how much government they tax, how much government they collect in taxes, lies with the Ministry of Finance, where they bring the budget to Parliament, lies with Parliament, where they pass that budget, not the central bank. I can advise, but if in the wisdom of Parliament, then decide, say, waiting the minister propose, then they go with him. That's what happens. I'm not the kind I tell you what I have advised, because that breaches the confidentiality. As far as the responsibility, for example, contracts that were signed, and that, there are ministries that deal with that. Those fall outside of the central bank.
Prof, the current exchange rates now, in terms of looking at the dollar, as we talk now, $100 don't go up over 2 million euros. Many of other commodities, they're influenced by the dollar exchange rate, where don't make every other commodity in the country, they shoot up. What's responsible for this high dollar rate?
Well, I tell you, first and foremost, foreign exchange regime where we get in this country, where they determine how they loan the exchange relative to other currencies. Not to the bank, they determine that. The section 47.1 of the Bank of Sierra Leone Act 2019 say the foreign exchange regime of Sierra Leone shall be determined by the Minister of Finance after consultation with the bank and shall be consistent with the obligations of any international treaty to which Sierra Leone is a party. But remember, please,
go ahead, sir.
Not to the governor, not to the Bank of Sierra Leone. The exchange rates for the Leone against other currencies shall be determined by the market. Waiting with the export, it don't take for a long time where they get very little from it. And as a result of that, we get foreign exchange challenges. So what we do now was to bring in a lot of special credit facilities where we say, if you able to bring rest in this country, you get a track record for bring rest, and you get evidence that you don't order rest, it didn't ship for Kana Salon. We will give you a low interest loan. We will give you access to foreign exchange so that rest will come in this country. The petrol fuel people, where they need petrol, they say they not get foreign exchange. We create facilities for them so that we will able to get fuel in this country. Let this country not get the sort of shortages that we were seeing elsewhere. In that process, in 2.5 years, the bank spent over $450 million.
For aid the petrol and the rest.
Essential commodities.
Essential commodities.
For make sure, say, we not get kata.
But can they make any impact looking at the cost of fuel, looking at the cost of rest, and essential commodity go up and the price too high till now?
Usually when people they talk this, you don't blame them, they are not trained economists. Suppose these policies were not in place, how the prices go be today? Wait, please, let me finish. As opposed to the policies being in place. 2, waiting people they know they understand is that this country in a small open economy, we can do whatever in order to impact the international prices.
Ordinary person, no, but this kind of economic theory we they explain, but they want for looking at the way now with how them been the buy one cup press and the way now how one cup press they look fuel and the way now fuel they. Now that's then the look as to why it go up that much.
Well, let's look at Nigeria. Then they export crude oil, then get fuel shortage. So at least people be grateful to the Bank of Sierra Leone during this our crisis, where we make sure, say, this country not lacking in fuel, this country not lacking. Go to Liberia sometime and they not get rest. Now then the poor rest go. because the Bank of Salon come in and say, we need to protect the state. Yes, prices don't go up. We not get control over that. Now, the world market, they determine the prices, where would they pay?
You talk about fiscal deficits.
Fiscal deficit, yes.
Yes, and how government they spend and how much government they keep considering there. Is it that now the government they spend past what they get?
Government they spend past what they get, and government not get control over that. Where you get into something like COVID, government may get for pay for healthcare, government get for pay for them in the give what they call the vulnerable people, then they give them through NAXA and this, that. Whenever you get in an economic crisis like this, certain things that in the system where they cause government expenditures to go up. On the other hand, as the economy they contract, government revenue they go down.